Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Hell's Paradise episode number 5 reaction. Okay, the previous episode we get to see one of the characters which we met previously. We get to see them again, Yuzuriha and a few other people with her. Obviously one person is her what's his name? I forgot his name. But the executioner who is accompanying her, and the person that Yuzuriha was with, who we saw, in a little flashback, who she kind of tricked, that person's executioner because that guy's dead. So they come in and help us out with the demons over there who we are fighting against. And yeah, Yuzuriha tries to make a deal with Gabimaru, and the deal is that, yeah, like, come together with us. We'll do, go through this together. We can give you information, and obviously you'll help us fight with us. And up until we are here in the island, obviously in the end when we're going to get the elixir of life, then we'll have to probably fight against each other. But up until that point, we're going to cooperate. So that's the whole plan. While Sagiri, seeing all of this crazy stuff going on, and kind of blaming herself, thinking that how she's not able to do anything, not able to adapt properly, she falls unconscious. And then the next part of the episode, we got to see that guy, the Bandit King, I forgot his name, and his brother Toma, who is supposed to be the executioner assigned to him. They're both siblings, and how this was their whole plan in actually trying to get the elixir of life and actually getting a pardon from the shogunate. But after coming here, they have changed their mind. The big brother says, like, no, we're going to take the elixir of life for ourselves and consume it ourselves. And we get a little bit of the backstory, how Toma looks up to him so much, and how he thought that he's going to abandon him because his brother always adapts and changes to everything. But he sees that his brother comes back for him in the end and helps him out. So yeah, that was that episode. Let's see what happens here in this one. This is episode number 5. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, this is Sagiri's father. Damn. The samurai and the woman. Genji. Yeah, that's his name. Whoa. Inside a tree trunk. I see. I was wondering why she suddenly fell unconscious. Where's Gabimaru? Oh boy, she's sleeping over there. She's like, is this some kind of a picnic? What's going on here? Yeah, supervising? I feel like they have plenty of time here. Like, hmm. Kikatsukan? What's that? Yeah. Oh, okay. Nice. All right. So, yeah, obviously, if it was that easy. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I guess. Okay. He kept that a secret that his the chief. Okay. So there's not no alien plan. Oh, there you go. There are unfamiliar ones. Oh, that's uh, yeah, that's grim. Oh yeah, he used those ingredients and they're eating it. Mandarin looking thing. True, like nobody's seen it. Huh. Yeah. Statues. Hmm. Yeah, but then why do we have the statues here? Oh, there's no organs? Oh. Yeah, I guess. Ha! Hmm. It's as if people just. Okay. Malformed gods. Wow. Huh. Interesting. Damn. Yo, look at his face. Yeah. Yeah? Hmm. Oh, Genji. Ooh, again. Like, oh boy. Oh boy. Here we go. And like he saw how she was struggling. I guess that's why he's like, yeah, you better go home. Well, do you have? I don't think you also have that power. Oh yeah, it did. Okay. Yeah, but mentally, I guess. Hmm. Like the things he's saying is harsh, but a few things are correct. Like she doesn't have that mental. Hmm. Yeah, that's also true. Like once you've come here, yeah, it's kind of Yamada Simon Tenza. Who is this? Yeah, Sanka. Who is it? Is this also a criminal? Yeah. What? Why? Huh. Oh boy. Oh no, I feel like he's gonna die. Yeah, that's not the Shogunate ship. That's a ghost ship. Oh, that's good. Oh, zombies! Oh, never mind. It's those weird creatures. I was like, oh my god, zombies. Yeah, you better leave from here. This doesn't look good. Just leave! Oh my god, why are you staying here? Uh, oh no. What? Okay, well, fantastic. Alright. Yeah. Well, oh, okay. Divine punishment. One who doesn't obey. Oh, okay. Oh my god, what the? What the hell? That he was just casually like he was like casually, oh, take me to a place, and then this. He just wanted to help them, and this is what he got. Oh my god! And I can see why he said that you're the one who, yeah, why you're the one who deserves to go pardoned, because he's not a criminal. Like if helping people is actually, oh boy, what? Oh no, he's still alive. Isho. Okay, don't touch him. Oh my god. Don't touch him. Oh. Hmm. What's happening? Oh, his. I don't think you can run from here. Divine punishment. Oh boy, he blames himself. Damn. Oh, that's why. Good. Oh. Damn, this guy's a shonen protagonist. He lost his way into a different anime. He's in a seinen anime. Hmm. But damn. Oh. Okay. Oh, there it is. All right. Okay. Nice. Oh, did they survive? Yes, they survived. Damn. So, oh my god, from one hell to another. They're in the island, aren't they? This is the island. Yeah. Oh boy. So this is what will happen if you try to get out from here. Like, hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I guess. Oh, she's a girl. Oh my god. Okay, I was not expecting that. So wait. Okay. Yeah, I also did not realize. Like, even the way she speaks. Oh boy. Hmm. Yeah, more people we need. Oh boy. Okay, don't. All right. Ugh. Hmm. Yeah. Well, she did kind of talk to him heart to heart. Yeah, he's smart. You can see. Keeping an eye. Hmm. Hmm. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, is that why? I see. Hmm. Yeah. Sure, he has to like face them one day or the other. If he runs away from here, like, yeah, practical strength. Like her resolve or something, I don't know. Sure. Yeah, I see. They also sleep probably. She's like, nope, I'm staying here. Yes. Yeah, why are you fussing so much about let her stay? She wants to stay, let her stay. Alright, now you're being. Like, what's wrong with you? She wants to stay, let her stay. What the hell? Damn. Yeah, look at those eyes. Well, this thing is so alien for the people of this like time period. Like, hmm, yeah. Okay. Oh, you want a duel? Let's beat you up then. Oh, damn. Well, you suck. Yeah, you better go back. You better go back. Shut the hell up. Oh my god. Yeah, you better use that soul. Now, oh my god. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Wow. Like, they didn't even give us enough time to hate this guy. Like, you can see how this guy was, like, like actually kind of, by the end of it, getting a little bit annoying and, like, his whole thing. Like, they, they didn't even give us enough time to actually, like, hate this guy and be like, oh, this guy sucks. He's just dead now. Well, I guess. Like, half of his stomach is gone, so I'm pretty sure he's dead. Or maybe he'll die later. I don't know. Wow. Imagine not even giving the time to hate a character who you're supposed to hate. They just kill them off immediately. Wow. Okay, that was the other criminal, wasn't it? The one who um killed that guy. What was his name? Enzo or something? The red-haired guy, eye patch guy, who was lecturing Sagiri back in the mainland. I think yeah, that's that criminal with him. Okay, that's it. All right. So one thing I want, like like before I begin, like one thing I'm pretty sure now is that Sagiri has technique, like or like like a pure strength or whatever, like swordsmanship skill. She has that, but the fact that she's like so rattled over here in this island is because she's herself is questioning her own skills. Now, this is the thing. We've seen this before. Like I said this multiple times in the previous episodes reaction, like that I said that in the first episode, it seemed Sagri was so strong. It seemed like she was like one of the strongest characters in this show, and obviously like on par with Gabimaru. And then from the second, third episode, as we get to see, not the second episode was mainly them talking. The third episode, from where they reached the island, it seemed like she's struggling constantly with, like, adapting to this place and so many other things, so many different, like, her own problems, her own troubles are eating at her and stuff like that. And it seemed like she's so weak over here. And that's why everyone who's like looking at her, they're like, oh, you better go home, Sagiri. This place is not for you. So yeah, but here it's proved again. Like in the end, we get to see when Sagiri just takes the weapon from the other guy, from Genji, and within like a blink of an eye, she just takes it from him, and very calmly she's like, "Yep, you won't be able to attack me," which shows how skilled she is. And yeah, this kind of shows that it's not that she isn't skilled. She's definitely more stronger and skilled than Genji. The guy who was just pridefully talking about how, oh, you should leave this to me and go back. And I'm pretty sure she's way more stronger than a lot of characters in this show. But the fact that she's so struggling over here is because of her own trouble, her own mental trouble, and the fact that she is very much like like overwhelmed by this island. Mainly, the main reason is that her own troubles, like the fact that she always is second guessing herself about, oh, am I worthy enough to, you know, stay here, or am I worthy enough to wield my weapon? That thing, the fact that she also has a lot of a very low amount of self confidence, self like has like an inferiority complex. Basically every day of her life she had been just like brushed off by people who saw her trying to be better at swordsmanship. They were like, oh, she's a woman. What can she do? Yeah. Even her father was like, yeah, like you're not meant for this. Go do something else and do your duty as a woman. And these type of things that she has always, like, heard from her childhood. that has brought a huge, sense of, a big inferiority complex in her, which is also something that she struggles with, and which makes her weak in this situation. Her skills, her physical strength is very strong. In the first episode, we saw how Gabimaru himself was fearful of her. The Gabimaru who doesn't really care about anything. Like his head gets smashed, he doesn't care. He's just almost immortal. That Gabimaru, when Sagiri opened her blade, he saw that he'll get killed. He saw his head going down, getting chopped down. That Gabimaru who never dies, like, which shows and which is plenty proof that she's strong. But the fact that she's struggling with so many other things is which is making her weaker, and her second guessing herself is what is lowering her skill in this place. So when she'll be more confident in herself, and when she'll actually make up her mind that, you know what, screw the world, I do what I want to do, yeah, that is when she'll be able to show her true power, and we'll see how strong she is. And you can see Gabimaru in this episode also tells her that, oh no, I've seen you, I know you're strong. Like, am I like, my judgment never fails. I know that you're strong. I know that you're a lot stronger than you are, than you think you are. And yeah, that is plenty enough proof that Sagiri is skilled, Sagiri is strong. The only thing that's holding her back and, kind of bringing her down is her own way of thinking and own inferiority complex, own troubles that she's facing. And yeah, she needs to conquer them, and then only she'll be able to show her true power and actually utilize that. Okay, this episode we begin with a dream, a nightmare Sagiri is having of her dad just looking at her, yeah, like, as if like she's a disappointment or something. And yeah, so Sagiri wakes up and Genji is there waiting, and Sagiri's like, where are we? And Genji's like, oh, we're here, kind of taking a little bit of a rest. After you fell down, we carried you here. And they're like in a tree trunk, and Sagiri's like, oh, let me go and keep an eye on Gabimaru. And she goes outside and sees that everyone's just chilling. Gabimaru's making food. Senta, I think that was his name. He's like just sewing clothes, I think. But usually has just laying down in a hammock. So Sagiri's like, what the hell is going on here? Why are you guys so chill? And Sagiri's like, you guys said that you were supposed to immediately move. So what happened to that? But Gabimaru's like, it's fine. We're just making some food, and we had to make this stop. And at this point, Sagiri doesn't realize why they actually stopped. But later on, she realizes that the reason they were actually sitting there, stopping for a while, and Gabimaru's kind of waiting, is because he was concerned about her and wanted he was also kind of blaming himself for giving her that wound, which made it easy for her to get affected by the insect, the thing, the poison of the island. Okay, yeah, and he was blaming himself a little bit. That's why he was concerned about her, and that is why they decided to have a little break over here, even though they are their time is running out. So yeah, now I think his name is Senta. I don't remember. Yeah, he says that, okay, let's have a little discussion as we eat. And Gabimaru has made food. What was it called? Just a minute. Yuzuru has hey, we're going to eat. And when she takes the food, she's like, what the hell is this? Okay, just a minute. Hikatsuga. So it's basically made from the ingredients that he has found. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's usually bad, but this time it's quite good. I got quite a few good ingredients today. And yeah, these are the rations, I'm guessing, when they're in outside in a very dangerous situation, they just take stuff from the surroundings and make a little food. Okay, Gamio says I've scouted this island, and he says like I've not seen anything that resembles this fruit, the 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 elixir of the thing, life, and he says that I haven't found anything like that. Okay, so you can see Yuzuru is like, wait, how do you try to find it? Do you know what it is? And you can see that Gamio thinks, and then he's like, no, I don't know about anything about it, which was half true, half lie if you think about it, because he does know that his like chief had gotten the elixir of life, so he does know about it a little bit, but obviously he's not seen it before. So it's half truth, half lie. That yeah, he hasn't really seen the elixir of life, but he does kind of know about it. Yuzera kind of was a little bit suspicious of that, but anyways. And Gaminar is like, yeah, I was checking out the forest, and there's like normal species. Like there are also some unfamiliar species as well. And he also says, highlights this point, is that oh, I also found the plants which were growing on the samurais that came back, which uh, kind of hints that oh, there might be a few ingredients over here, which might be those samurais. After listening to that, Yuzira almost just throws away the food. He's like, "What the hell are you feeding me?" But yeah, so it wouldn't be surprising if the samurais who came here, they actually became plant, and those plants are now like just all across the island, just here and there. Okay, Santa says that we shouldn't fixate on the illustration that much because we really don't know what it should look like. The culture here, we shouldn't really try to focus on world culture because this island is like a mixture of culture. I think in the previous episode they said that it's a mixture of two culture, Buddhism and what was the other one? I forgot the other one that he mentioned. I don't remember it. Anyways, so yeah, it's like a mixture of like two cultures and maybe more cultures as well. So he says here, worrying about religious consistency might be a waste of time. And he also talks about who made these idol like structures. Like, did someone make it in this island, or like how did this come to be? Like and then Sagri is like, find hard to believe that in this island there's someone just staying here and making these statues. But at the same time, yeah, the question comes in, then who made these statues? Why are there so many of them? And Sagri also mentions how the creatures, when she cut, they looked like human enough, but when she cut them, there weren't like organs and any type of reproductive organs. And she says that it looks as if the parts of other animals are stacked on top of humanoid forms. Like it's inconsistent. It's like a mixture of like weird things. Like like when you give little kids like to make like a little sculpture or something, like those little like things, toy structures, and they like put like weird things one on top of the other. It's as if like a little kid made them, just put on like stacked on different things which doesn't really match on top of another. And that's why we have a freaking fish with 12 hands, oh no, sorry, 8 hands and 2 legs praying. Yeah, and Senta also says that the clothing that they're wearing are also inconsistent. The religious details are also crude and inconsistent. So we cannot really figure out what's going on here. And he says here something interesting. He says that, in other words, they're more like malformed gods. Both the island and the monsters are like that. They're terrifying, but they're also stupid. Okay, malformed gods. That's an interesting thing. Malformed gods. Okay. Okay, so wow, so like it will be interesting if we actually realize later on that these are actually like some kind of deities or gods who are like incomplete and they're just roaming around in this island. Like that's such a weird and creepy type of thing, isn't it? Like as he said, malformed gods, or gods who weren't able to properly, like, weren't able to properly, like they're like a mixture of things. They're not actually gods, but they're like a, like it's as if someone tried to make a god but failed, that type of thing. But then, yeah, it's like a very weird thing. And okay, he says that it's as though we have been thrown into some kind of a sick mandala, and they're so mysterious we can't begin to understand them. Yeah, like, it's so interesting that this is a show which is like, seeing all these things and like seeing this island. It's so creepy. Like, what can I say? Like, we see, like, in different video games, anime, we see demons, devils, this and that, but most of them have the, like, the humanoid form of, like, oh, two horns, like, like two hands, and maybe like a wing or something, like these type of things. They actually look like human beings. However, like my, like, like the way of looking at something creepy and something demonic would be something like this, which really doesn't have any type of form, or is like very inconsistent, very crude. It's like a mixture of so many things. These things look more like demons and devils than the ones that we see in other animes. And I just love this type of creepy, like, weird, which doesn't have any answer, that type of thing. And this island has so many mysteries, and I'm looking forward to how they're going to explain all of this in the end. Or maybe they won't explain anything. They'll be like, yeah, this was something that isn't explainable. But if they do have an explanation as to what's going on in this island, I'm looking forward to that explanation, because my god, this place is is all mixed up. It's just a circus of so many things going on. Like, it's beautiful, it's creepy, it's horrifying, and yeah, it has weird creatures roaming on. And people who get stung by these creatures become trees. So, yeah. Okay, so Gabimaru here says, like, oh, interesting. Creatures who can survive without organs point to immortality. It seems as if the elixir of life might be actually something that exists. And he's like, yeah, we gotta find it. And Yuzura's like, yeah, hopefully we don't die before that. Okay, Santa also says, like, we need to look at the monsters, we need to see how they live, what their ecology is, this and that. Now, one thing I can say here, that Santa's pretty smart, you can see he he seems very cool and calm and very smart, because later on there's another part which kind of, like, like, kind of impressed me, that he was able to realize that Sagiri might be the only one who can actually rain Gabimaru down, who can actually stop him, you know like, not by pure strength, but because she has a connection with Gabimaru. Like, yeah, like, Genji didn't realize that. He was just like, oh, you go home, Sagiri. But yes, so Senta was like, you know what, yeah, I feel like there is something. If something happens, Gabimaru, like, goes crazy, you might be the only one who can stop him. The fact that he was able to realize that is kind of impressive. Like, yeah, okay. Okay, Genji comes in, and alright, you know what? At the beginning, I can kind of say that at the beginning, when Genji was like, "Oh, you should go back," this and that. At first, I was like, you know what? He's saying some harsh words, but at the same time, he's not completely wrong. If you, like, look at this whole situation, like, completely, like, in a neutral position, if you stand and, like, without any letting any emotions affect you, in a very neutral standpoint, if you judge this situation, I'm pretty sure everyone would say that, yeah, Sagiri should definitely go back, because she's not ready for this place, like, this place and her own troubles that are, like, haunting her. She needs to conquer those, and then if she comes back and if she, like, tackles this island, I'm sure she'll be fine. But for now, at least, when she's still struggling with her own troubles and, like, the different things, this island and all, she's not really ready for this. So at the beginning, I was like, yeah, you know what, he is partially correct, partially because, like, his reasoning was, oh, because you're a woman. But no, that's definitely not the reason, which you should let her go back. My reason would be like, yeah, you're not experienced enough and you're struggling on your own, you're struggling with your own troubles, so you should go back. So partially I kind of agreed to him. The fact that, oh, he's telling Sagiri to go back, it is harsh, but at the same time, this is a place which might take her life. She might die. And the way she's now here in this situation, she's not ready, she's not at her 100%. So that is why, yeah, I was partially agreeing to him. But at the same time, the other half was, his reasoning was, oh, you're a woman, that's why you should go back. Which obviously is something that people in this time, I'm guessing, like, yeah, that's how they looked at everything and they looked at the world. Like, it's crazy how, like, in this time period, this whole, like, this equality thing was such a, what can I say, like, such an alien concept to them. Like, Genji is genuinely surprised. Genji's like, am I wrong? You're a woman, so you should go back. Like, it's so alien to these people in this time period that they're genuinely surprised. They're genuinely surprised that, oh, they shouldn't be like this. Oh, Osagiri having her own opinions. That's crazy. That should never happen. Why? Oh yeah, because she's a woman. This is their thought process. This is these people's in this time period's thought process. And the concept of equality is such an alien concept to them. They're genuinely being surprised. They're like, oh, I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm saying everything perfectly normal. So yeah, like, good God. But anyways, nothing you can do about it. Like, it's this time period. Nothing, like, and everyone thought of, like, like, this whole situation. Everyone's thought process was like this. But yeah, like, at first he was like, oh, you should go back, and Sagiri is kind of struggling. Like, obviously her own inferiority complex and everything is kicking in, and she's like, oh, maybe I should go back. And here Genji says like, oh, like, what about your sword? Where did you find it? You picked it up from the battlefield. And then he says like, oh, obviously, like, in a battlefield, like, when you need to take another sword, you should take another sword and fight. But at the same time, he also says that the fact that you weren't able to protect your sword, from breaking, and, like, obviously the battle between Gamio broke it, shows that you're not, like, you're not ready. And, like, he's like giving these type of, like, reasons and everything for her to go back. And he's like, oh, you should go back, you're not only one of the executioner of Asaemon, you're also a woman, so you should go back and do your duties, this and that, all that stuff he's just saying. And you can say that Senta comes here as well, and Senta kind of says like, what, I can see what you're trying to say, Genji, but most of the samurai who one goes back, they don't really return. And we don't even know what's going on in this island, how we can get out of here. Can we even get out of here? So, like, Sagiri going back wouldn't really, like guarantee her going back alive. That's the thing. Now, suddenly we cut off to this another group, this guy, Tameshi Toryu rank 10 Yamada Asaemon Tenza. And this girl, obviously at first I thought this was a boy. What was her name? Just a minute. Okay, okay, I cannot find her name. What's her name? Sanka. No, Sanka is the... Okay, if I find her name, I'll remember it. But anyways, these two are, like, in the boat, and we can realize by the end of it that they actually tried to get out from the island, but then they got stuck in this fog, this weird thing. So yeah, and she says that even if we're able to leave the island, I'll be executed if I don't have the elixir. So why are we trying to get out of here? And he says like, oh, don't worry, I'll talk to Shogunate for you. You're the only one that I think that deserves the pardon. Nurugai. There you go. That's her name, Nurugai. So he's like, yeah, you're the only one who I think deserves the pardon. But anyways, they come here in this place where there's like a lot of ships just broken down. Probably all the ships that tried to come back and got stuck in this whole thing. and yeah, they're stuck here. They're obviously this guy Tenza, I think that's his name. He stops the boat, which was one of the worst things to do in this situation because these weird squid-like creatures come out and just destroy their boat first. So they take like they land on these broken boats, and now they're just fighting a whole bunch of weird demonic mutated squids or whatever. So okay, now you can see that while all this was happening, Nurugai was kind of thinking of the past, how she came in this situation. And you can see in the flashback, this girl, all she did was that, oh, there were a few samurais who were lost. She was like, oh, you guys, like, where are you? Like, I'll take you to the foot of the mountain, I can help you. And these freaking samurais, they go to her village, kills everyone because these people, they have not really accepted the shogunate, and they don't accept them. They're actually like not under the rule. That is why they are tasked with getting them back, and they take this girl to prison. So the whole village is dead, and so yeah. So what's her crime? Her crime is that she actually tried to help a few people who were struggling. That's her crime. Wow. Oh boy. Yep. Yeah, and I can understand why exactly Tenza said that, oh, you're the one who deserves this the least. You're the one who deserves the pardon the most. So, yeah, now you can see here Nuruga is kind of blaming herself. She's thinking that, oh, it is because of me that my whole village died. And in her head, keeping the bloodline alive was the main priority, but at the same time, the fact that she failed them and the whole bloodline is just wiped out, and she's blaming herself, and she's thinking that it's like a very contradictory situation. She thinks she should be staying alive to preserve the bloodline, but at the same time, the fact that she was the reason why the whole bloodline got wiped out almost is why she deserves to die. Like, it's like a very contradictory situation. She's struggling with that and she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know if she should give up or she should, like, try to struggle and go out and survive. Now, they come across this one samurai who's like still alive, like who's just speaking a little bit, but that guy is dead. Then Tenza, he's fighting these squid tentacle things, and Nuruga is like, oh, forget me, leave me, and just go. But Tenza kind of protects her, kind of stops the monsters, and he's like, oh, I don't understand. Tell me properly, why are you saying this? I'm an idiot. So properly, tell me. And in the end, he says, like, what do you want to do? Do you really want to die here? I'm pretty sure you don't want that. And then in the end, Niru guy's like, yeah, I want to go back to my mountain and go back to my house, home. And then he's like, yeah, then we'll struggle up until the end and then survive. And he gives her a weapon. They fight and somehow are able to come back to the island again. And they're like, yeah, this place is weird. We need to actually catch a current which actually takes us out of here, because the fact that the samurais were transported by the boats and their dead bodies came back to the mainland shows that there must be a few currents which take us back. We need to find those, but just blindly coming out like this wouldn't work. This place is surrounded by weird things, like weird monsters and stuff. This kind of reminded me, you see this little illustration of the island and these weird octopus monsters all around and broken down ships and everything. This kind of reminded me of that one scene, from Vinland Saga, where Thorfinn was dreaming that if you go out into the sea, a big snake dragon kind of thing called Jormungand, I think that's what they called him, is there, and it destroys the ship and you go down. And this kind of reminded me of that, these weird monsters are just staying in the outskirts of the island, just keeping an eye and not letting anyone come out, and whoever tries to come out in a boat, they just destroys the ship and sinks the ship. Interesting that they can actually go in, but they cannot go out, because going in is quite easy. We see they just they just go in. It came to the island, but now that they're trying to come out, it's more troublesome. So these monsters actually allow everyone to go in, but then when it's time for coming out, they're like, nope, you're not coming out alive. That's that's the whole thing. All right, now here Tensai is like, okay, like we should wash off the clothes, and yeah, and then we get to see that Nurga is actually a girl, and like this, you know what? I was also very much surprised here, because he, no, not he, sorry, she, like everything, like usually, whenever there's characters who are actually like a female but they kind of look like a male, I don't really get that confused, because most of the time it's very easy to understand, because their eyelashes and everything, you can kind of differentiate between them. But I genuinely was surprised here, because first of all, he called him Nurugai kun, number one. Number two, she has a very kind of like a deep voice, and genuinely, I didn't also expect that. So yeah, and she's like, yeah, like what are you talking? I don't care, like if I'm a girl or a boy. And he gets embarrassed and everything. Oh boy. But anyways, Tenza is like, first thing we need to do is we need to get more allies here. And then we cut back to Sagiri and the Genji. And Genji is like, yeah, you should go. Next day, you should go back. Now, you can see Senta here says, like, I half agree with Genji-san. He says that, like, looking at you, I feel like you should go. But at the same time, I can kind of I can see that Gabimaru might be you might be the only person who might actually be able to stop Gabimaru if he goes berserk. Because he says that I kind of noticed, but something happened on that day, and that day and this day, there's like a huge difference between the Gabimaru there and this Gabimaru. Something must have happened after that, and obviously we know what happened. They had like a proper conversation, and Sagiri accepted him for who he, Gabimaru was denying himself, but Sagiri accepted him for the person that Gamu tries to his wife said that, oh, you're a person who has emotions and feelings, and that makes you strong. She said the same thing, which kind of is like some way of accepting him as a person. And yeah, so Gabimaru has changed from there. So like I said, it's kind of impressive that Senta was able to catch on that, and he's like, yeah, you might probably be the only one who might actually be able to stop him. So yeah, okay. Now later we get to see at night they were all sleeping. Gabimaru was outside keeping an eye, and Sagiri comes out, and Sagiri is also like, oh, I'm here to do the the routine patrol. And here they start having a little conversation, and Gabimaru's like, oh, are you okay? And obviously Sagiri is very surprised. He's like, what? He's asking me if I'm okay or not. But then we can understand why, get to see little by little. She also understands why he's asking. There's a few reasons why he was asking. Number one, he thinks that he was the reason why she fell unconscious. He says that... Okay, where's that part? Alright. He says the insect's poison acted quickly because of the wound I gave you. There you go. So he kind of thinks that he's the reason why she fell unconscious, and that's why he feels a little bit guilty. And you can see that Sagiri here realizes that is exactly why Gabimaru decided to stop here and rest, just because of Sagiri, so that Sagiri gets enough rest. And he also says, and also the fact that I owe you a favor as well is why, I wanted to know if you're okay or not. The favor being how Sagiri was able to make him realize that you should not really rush in this situation. Like, you remember when he realized, he got to know that from his village, from Iwagakure, people will be coming here, and they might actually try to do something. That's why he tried to quickly do everything and go back. But now he is like, you know what? No. What I have to do here is take it easy and cool and slow and steady, because I'm not leaving for myself. I have a wife, and I need to go back for her. And to live a long and prosperous life, which is my goal, if I try to like just go past this as quick as possible, I won't be actually dealing with the problem. I'll just be running away from it, which is 100% true. If he tries to rush this whole thing, and even if he's able to quickly find the elixir of life, go back and just like do all of his thing very quickly, take his wife and just leave, they'll still be on the run. So his like mind now has has made up the mind that I'm going to be dealing with each and every trouble that I have to deal with, so that later on I don't have to deal with those trouble. I want myself and my wife to live in peace. So running away from this situation isn't really going to help. So I need to face all of this. I need to get the elixir of life properly, face the people from Iwagakure, and go back, deal with the chief, and then go out, take my wife and leave. That's what they need to do to actually, so that there's nothing, so that they can live a peaceful future. He needs to deal with the past and the present. And Sagiri made him realize that. So now he's calm and he's like, I thank you for that you made me realize that. And okay, yeah, he says that I won't run away from those who try to face me. I'll face them head on. And Sagiri also, this also resonates with Sagiri because it's the same for her. She needs to face what, all the trouble that is coming. If she runs away from this island, just goes back, she's just running away from it. And it's so crazy how both Gabimaru and Sagiri, their situations seem so different, but at the same time they're so similar. Like both their troubles and everything that they're dealing with are so similar. And the fact that Gabimaru is learning from Sagiri, Sagiri is learning from Gabimaru, it's such an interesting thing. One is an executioner and one is a criminal, but both their situations are so similar, and both are kind of understanding each other's troubles. And this is a very interesting thing that Gabimaru says after this, that you cannot really learn from yourself. You need to learn from someone else. And which makes so much sense. Sagiri never realized what her own problems was unless and until she came across Gabimaru and saw his problems and realized oh, this is me. While Gabimaru as well never really understood his own problems unless he came across Sagiri. And now he's like, oh yeah, she's correct. This is how I should do it. So their own problems, since they're so similar, both being together and looking at each other, studying each other, makes each other realize what they're lacking and what they should do to counter their situations, because their situations are similar and nobody can learn on their own. They need to look at others and learn. And Sagiri's like, oh, you're so strong. And he's like, oh no, you are as well stronger than me. And she's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, no, I've never known about that. I know you're stronger than this. I don't know if it's the heart, technique, and strength, or influenced by the nature. At the very least, you were very strong at the prison. It wasn't just an impression, it was more of a practical strength. I wonder what that feeling was. Yeah, we get a proper demonstration just after this, while the whole thing with Genji when it happens. She's strong, but the fact that her own troubles are kind of weighing her down, becoming the burden, episode 2, where she was talking about the burden of her sword, she's strong, but those troubles are burdening her sword. If she's able to take out those burdens, she'll be way more faster and stronger, because those burden won't be weighing her down anymore. And he's like, oh, you look surprised. And she's like, yeah, I suppose yes. And here we go. Here's where Gabimaru says this. The villagers used to say, you cannot know how strong you are unless you've experienced a lot for yourself. And people understand themselves less than we might think. Until they act, anyway, I guess we're all the same. Yeah, and since people understand themselves the least, when they come across someone who's similar to them, they learn from them the most, which is the situation that is happening here. Sagiri and Gabimaru, their situations are so similar, they don't know what to do with their own troubles, but since their troubles are kind of similar, since they came across each other, them observing each other is able to make them understand what to do. Sagiri looks at Gabimaru and realizes his problems and what he should do about it, and applies that to herself. Gabimaru looks at Sagiri and realizes what her problem is and what she should do in this situation, and then realizes that yeah, her trouble is similar to me, so I can also apply this to me. And that's how they learn. Okay, now next day Genji's like, oh, nothing came, maybe these things are not are like active on the day, they don't come out at night. And then Genji, as always, is like, go back, Sagiri, why are you still here? And Sagiri has said like, no, like Genji, like I don't want to go back, this is my life, I want to live it the way I like, and I don't want to run away. And she says, people regard a woman who wields a sword with astonishment and ridicule. You're a woman, what are you doing? They say. And more than anything, my father sometimes looked at me with disappointment. A woman cannot take over the Yamada clan. That's what the dad said. And he's like, oh, you don't have to push yourself, live as a woman. Yeah, if I live as the daughter of neck chopper Asa, I'm scorned by the outsiders. If I live as a warrior of the Yamada clan, I'm shunned by my family. If I leave now, it'll follow me for the rest of my life. And yeah, he's like, I don't understand. It's natural for women to have women's responsibilities. Like I said, these people, this time period, the fact that this concept is such an alien concept to them is crazy. But nothing you can do about it. It's not Genji's, this is not Genji's fault or anyone else's fault. It's the fault and this time period. The way they looked at everyone, the way they judged everyone is the problem here. Okay, now here's the thing. You can see that Sagiri here tries to convince him again. She's like, I can't stand to be looked at like that. Please see me as a samurai. Yeah. And she even kind of lowers her sword and says, forgive me for defying a senior student and allow me to live my way. And with the music and everything, it seemed as if Genji would be like, you know what, Sagiri, I respect that. Do what you want, live your life what you want. But oh boy, that doesn't happen. He is like, when Sagiri is like, let me live for myself, let me decide what I want to do, please understand. He's like, oh, that was unbearable to listen to. This isn't how samurai lives. And he tries to, it's so funny the way he just brags about everything. He's like, oh, this island is a battlefield, you cannot survive here. It's not a place for women and children. Tries to attack her. Sagiri just takes his sword away from him. He wasn't bragging about how a sword is such an important thing for a samurai. Well, your grip was a bit loose, wasn't it? And it's so funny. Oh my god, Sagiri also said that weapons can be procured on the battlefield. That's what you taught me last night. And then he gets angry at her. He's like, how dare you, a warrior's sword is his soul. How dare you steal that from me? Yeah, she stole that from me. You suck at gripping a sword. That's why she took it from you. And the funny part here, I was getting mad at him. I'm pretty sure everyone was watching this scene was probably getting mad at him, and they were like, "Oh, this dude, we need to teach him a lesson." He needs to he needs to get taught a lesson. Immediately, we see this guy behind him, the criminal guy who the big one. Without wasting any more time, he attacks him, and half of his stomach is gone. So. The fact that we were angry at Genji a few seconds ago, and now that he's almost dead, they don't even give us enough time to properly express our anger at Genji, because now he's almost dead. And we're like, oh my god, what the hell? And yeah, I can't even feel angry at him now, because he's half dead now. How am I supposed to feel angry at a dude who's half dead? Moments after I got angry at him, he's now almost dead. So I don't know how to feel about this situation. But yeah, next episode we'll probably have to face this guy. And let's see what happens. This guy is big and strong, and he defeated that guy, Endo NC, whatever. What was his name? Enzo? The guy who was lecturing Sagiri in episode 2. So yeah. So that was it, guys. That was my reaction to episode number 5 of Hell's Paradise. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Hell's Paradise. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.